the Finnar, which included both the Sámi and the Finns. For they seemingly didn't distinguish them as different people, as we do today. In their own eyes, the Finnar were closely associated with magic. Several sagas tell of Norse either traveling or being sent to them for magical instruction, hiring them to perform magic on their behalf, and occasionally marrying them or just sleeping with them. To provide a brief overview, they were the people of the drum, which was the sacred instrument and primary tool of the Noaidi, or shaman. They were a semi-nomadic people who either herded reindeer or hunted, trapped, and fished. Their spiritual belief was markedly different from the Norse, but likely influenced the Norse practice of seidr, if you're familiar with that already. If not, it's a special form of magic. The extent of Finnar-Norse interaction in the north can't be overstated. As the example of Ottar demonstrates, the Norse frequently interacted with them because their borders often overlapped, as you can see here. To quote Neil Price, quote, "These groups seem to have lived essentially side by side, sometimes in literal adjacent communities, with little sign of friction between them," end quote. Of course, there was a fair amount of friction, at least occasionally, since the Norse often demanded tribute from them, which would have consisted of furs and slaves. Nevertheless, it's clear that their relationship, despite political tensions, was quite fluid and complex, especially among ordinary folk. For example, there's a burial from Vivalen, Sweden, a Finnar settlement, wherein a male-bodied person was buried according to Finnar rituals while wearing a Finnar man's clothing over a Norse woman's linen dress. This example not only crosses cultural boundaries, demonstrating just how fluid such boundaries were between them, but also gender norms. In the end, it's obvious that these two groups mingled frequently, both peacefully and violently, which is very human, don't you think?